Guruji's Divine Grace, we're reading the Holy Shiv Quran at Guruji Ka Ashram, Somerset, every Monday after the Mantra Jap. Last week we read chapter 21 and 22 of the Riddheshwara Samhita. In this we read that the sages requested Sutaji to explain them about the number of phallic images of Lord Shiva that are to be worshipped for fulfillment of desires. And to this Sutaji explained that there are three kinds of phallic images of Lord Shiva based on the sizes. It can be excellent, it can be normal, it can be inferior, and if any person worships this phallic image of Lord Shiva, then they get all sorts of worldly pleasures and salvation, and it is equivalent to crores of sacrifices. He also said that Shiva cannot be worshipped without Tripundra, Rudraksha and the Bilvapatra. In the next chapter, the sages then request Sutaji to tell them about the greatness of Bilva and also the importance of partaking Naivedya. And to this, Sutaji says that if any devotee eats the Naivedya that has been offered to Lord Shiva, then he attains identity with the Shiva, and he should take it with pleasure and humility, and he should also eat it eagerly and continuously remembering Lord Shiva. As for Bilva, Sutaji said that Bilva is a symbol of Lord Shiva, and if anyone worships the roots of Bilva, then one attains Shiva Loka, and his happiness and his prosperity flourishes. So with this, we come to the end of the synopsis. Today we'll be reading chapter 23, which is the glorification of Rudraksha and means of Shiva, and chapter 24, greatness of the holy ashes. I will be reading in English, and Deepika Aunty will be reading in Hindi. Jai Guruji. Chapter 23, the glorification of Rudraksha and the names of Shiva. The sages said, O Suta, Suta, the fortunate disciple of Vyasa, obeisance to thee. Please explain again the glorification of the holy ashes, of the Rudraksha, and of Shiva's names. Lovingly explain the three. Please delight our minds. Suta said, it is good that you have referred to this matter that is highly beneficent to the world. You are blessed, holy, and ornaments to your family, since you own Shiva as your own sole great favorite deity. The anecdotes of Shiva are dear to you all forever. Those who adore Shiva are blessed and content. Their birth is fruitful and their family is elevated. Sins never touch those from whose mouth the names Sadashiv, Shiv, etc. come out forever, as they do not touch the burning charcoal of the Khadira's wood. When the mouth utters obeisance to thee, holy Shiva, that mouth is on par with holy centers, destroying all sins. It is certain that the benefit of making pilgrimages to the holy centers accrues to one who lovingly looks at his holy face. O Brahmins, the place where these three are found is the most auspicious one. A mere contact of these places accords the benefit of taking a holy dip in the sacred Triveni. Shiva's name, the ashes, and the Rudraksha beads are the three very holy and are on par with Triveni. The sight of the persons who have these three in their bodies is a rare occurrence, but when obtained, it removes all sins. There is no difference at all between these two, a sight of a holy man and a bath in the Triveni. He who does not realize this is undoubtedly a sinner. The man who has no ashes on his forehead, has not worn Rudraksha on his body, and does not utter the names of Shiva, shall be shunned as one does a base man. As said by Brahma, Shiva's name is on par with Ganga, the ash is equal to the Yamuna, and Rudraksha destroys all sins. Brahma, wishing to bestow beneficence, weighed one against the other. He puts on one side the benefit achieved by a person in whose body the three things were present. On the other side, he puts the blessedness achieved by those who took their bath in the holy Triveni. Both were found equal. Hence scholars shall wear these always. From that time onwards, Brahma, Vishnu, and other devas wear these three. Their very sight dispels sins. The sages said, O righteous one, you have explained the benefit of the three things, Shiva's names, etc. Please explain it vividly. Suta said, O Brahmanical sages, you are all good devotees of Shiva, gifted with knowledge and great intellect. You are foremost among wise. Please listen with reverence to the greatness. O Brahmins, it is mysteriously hidden in the sacred texts, Vedas and Puranas. Out of love for you, I reveal the same to you now. O foremost amongst Brahmins, whoever does not know the real greatness of the three except Shiva, who is beyond all in the universe. Briefly, I shall explain the greatness of the names as prompted by my devotion. O Brahmins, do you lovingly listen to his greatness, the destroyer of all sins. Mountainous heaps of great sins are destroyed, as in the blazing forest fire, when the names of Shiva are repeated. They are reduced to ashes without any difficulty. It is true, undoubtedly true. O Shaunaka, different sorts of miseries with sins as their roots can be quelled only by muttering Shiva's names and not by anything else entirely. The man who is devotedly attached to the japas of Shiva's names in the world is really a follower of the Vedas, a meritorious soul, and a blessed scholar. O sage, instantaneously fruitful are the different sacred rites of those who have full faith in the efficacy of japas of Shiva's names. O sage, so many sins are not committed by men in the world as are and can be destroyed by Shiva's names. O sage, Shiva's names repeated by men immediately destroy the countless heaps of sin, such as a slaughter of a Brahmin. Those who cross the ocean of worldly existence by resorting to the raft of the names of Shiva do definitely destroy those sins that are the root cause of worldly existence. O great sage, the destruction of sins that are of the root of worldly existence is certainly effected by the acts of Shiva's names. The nectar of Shiva's names shall be drunk by those who are distressed and scorched by the conflagrations of sins. Without it, people who are scorched by the conflagration cannot have any peace. Those who are drenched by the nectarine downpour of Shiva's names never feel ill at ease even in the middle of conflagration of worldly existence. The noble souls who have acquired great devotion to the names of Shiva and those like them attain perfect liberation instantaneously. O Lord of sages, devotion to the names of Shiva that destroys all sins can be acquired only by him who has performed penances in course of many births. Salvation is easy of access only to him who has extraordinary and unbroken devotion in the names of Shiva. I believe in this. Even if he has committed many sins, a person who has reverence of the japa of Shiva's names becomes certainly free from all sins. Just as the trees in the forest are burnt and reduced to ashes by forest fires, so also are the sins destroyed by Shiva's names. O Shaunaka, he who regularly sanctifies his body by the holy ashes and performs the japa of Shiva's names crosses even the terrible ocean of worldly existence. A person who undertakes the japa of Shiva's names is not sullied by the sins even after misappropriating a Brahmin's wealth and killing many Brahmins. After going through all the Vedas, it has been decided by our ancestors that the noblest mean of crossing the ocean of worldly existence is performance of the japa of Shiva's names. O excellent sages, why should I say much? By means of a single verse, I shall mention the greatness of the efficacy of the names of Shiva or the destruction of all sins. The power of the names of Shiva in destroying sins is more than the ability of men to commit them. O sage, formerly the king Indradyumna, who was a great sinner, attained the excellent goal of good through the influence of Shiva's names. O sage, similarly a Brahmin woman too, of very sinful activities, attained the excellent goal of the good through the influence of Shiva's names. O excellent Brahmins, thus I have told you about the surpassing excellence of the names. Now please listen to the greatness of holy ashes, the most sacred of all. Chapter 24, the greatness of holy ashes. Suta said, the ashes of auspicious nature are of two types. I shall explain their characteristics. Please listen attentively. One is known as Mahabhasma and the second is known as Swalpa. The Mahabhasma is of various types. It is of three types: Srota, Smarta and Laukika, from the ordinary fire. The Swalpa is the ordinary ash, which is of various forms. The Srota and the Smarta ashes are to be used only by the twice born. The Laukika can be used by everyone. Sages have said that the twice born should apply the holy ashes repeating mantras. The others can simply apply without any mantra. When the dry cow dung is reduced to ashes, it is called Agneya. O great sage, for the sake of Tripundra, this ash can be used. The ashes resulting from the Agnihotra and the other sacrificial rites shall be used for Tripundra by men seeking intellect. When the ashes are put on the forehead or smeared with water, the 7 mantras, Agni, etc., mentioned in the Jabala Upanishad shall be recited. People of all varnas and ashramas shall be put on Tripundra on the forehead or dust their bodies with the mantras mentioned in the Jabala Upanishad, or if no mantra is used, they shall do the same with reverence. Dusting with the holy ashes and smearing the Tripundra in horizontal parallel lines shall not be abandoned by those who seek salvation. Shruti lays down that they shall not get negligent. Siva, Vishnu, Uma, Lakshmi, goddess of speech and other gods and goddesses, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and persons of mixed caste and hill tribes have observed Tripundra and dusting always. Those who do not observe Tripundra and Udalana cannot practice well the various rites of different varnas and ashramas. Those who do not observe with faith the Tripundra and Udalana cannot be liberated from the world even if they take 10 million births. Even after hundreds of crores of kalpas, Siva's knowledge will not dawn upon those who do not observe with faith Tripundra and Udalana. This is the final conclusion of all sacred texts, that those who do not observe with faith Tripundra and Udalana are tarnished by great sins. Any action performed by those who do not observe Tripundra and Udalana with faith will give adverse results. O sage, the hatred towards Tripundra and Udalana is kindled in the hearts of only those great sinners who hate everyone. After performing the sacred rites of Siva in the fire, the devotee who has realized the self shall smear the forehead with the ashes, repeating the mantra beginning with Trayayusa. The moment the ashes come in contact with his body, he will be free from the sins of his impious acts. He who observes Tripundra with white ashes during the 3 Sandhyas every day becomes free from all sins and rejoices with Shiva. He who makes the Tripundra on the forehead with white ashes shall attain on death the primordial worlds. No one shall repeat the 6-syllable mantra without applying ashes on the body. After making the Tripundra with ashes, he shall perform the japa. All holy centers and all sacrifices will be present forever in the place where a man, after having put the ashes on his body, stays permanently, no matter whether he is ruthless, base, sinful, or commits morning sins, or is a fool, or is a fallen man. Even a sinful person is worthy of being honored by devas and asuras if he has Tripundra on his forehead. What then of a faithful man endowed with a pure soul? All the holy centers and sacred rivers go ever to the place which is a person who is endowed with Siva's jnana and has put on ashes, casually visits. Why should I say more? The sensible person shall always apply ash, shall always worship the phallic image, and shall always repeat the 6-syllable mantra of Siva. Neither Brahma, nor Vishnu, nor Rudra, nor sages, nor the devas can explain adequately the greatness of the application of the ashes. Even if a person has his duties of the different varnas and ashramas, even if a person has omitted the holy rites of the varnas, he shall be free from the sin if he wears Tripundra once. Those men who exclude a man wearing Tripundra and perform holy rites are not liberated from the worldly bondage even after crores of birth. If a Brahmin wears Tripundra with the ash on his forehead, he must be considered as having learnt everything from the preceptor and as having performed every sacred rite. Those who begin to strike on seeing a person who has applied the ash are reborn of Chandala parents. O Holy One, this can be guessed by the wise. With these great devotion of Brahmins and Kshatriyas shall apply the holy ashes over such parts of the body as are prescribed by the rule repeating the mantra Manas Toke, etc. A Vaishya shall apply the ashes repeating the Trayambaka mantra, and a Shudra with the 5-syllable mantra. Widows and other women shall do like the Shudras. A householder shall repeat the Panchabrahma mantra, and the Brahmacharin shall repeat the Trayambaka mantra at that time. The Vanaprastha shall repeat the Aghora mantra, and ascetic shall observe with the Pranava alone. A Shiva Yogin, being outside the pale of Varna and Ashrama rites because of his conception, I am Shiva, shall wear ashes with the Ishana mantra. Shiva has ordained that the right of wearing ashes shall not be issued by the people of any caste and outside the bounds of caste by other living beings. A person who has applied ashes on his body actually wears as many lingas as there are particles of ashes that remain on his body. Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, people of mixed caste, women, widow, girls, heretics, a brahmacharin, a householder, a forest dweller, an ascetic, performer of sacred rites, and women who have tripundra marks are undoubtedly liberated souls. Just as the fire, when touched with or without knowledge, burns the body, so does the ash worn consciously or unconsciously sanctify the man. No man shall drink or eat even a bit without applying bhasma or wearing rudraksha. If he eats or drinks, whether he is a householder or a vanaprastha or an ascetic, a man of 4 castes or of mixed castes, he becomes a sinner and goes to hell. If a man of 4 castes repeats Gayatri, or if an ascetic repeats the Pranava, he shall be liberated. Those who censure Tripundra actually censure Shiva. Those who wear it with devotion actually wear Shiva. Fire upon the forehead, or that is devoid of ash. Fire upon the village that has no Shiva temple. Fire upon that life that does not worship Shiva. Fire upon the lore that does not refer to Shiva. Great indeed is the sin accruing even from the sight of those who censure Shiva, who is the support of 3 worlds, and those who censure the man wearing Tripundra on his forehead. They are on par with the pigs of rubbish heaps, demons, donkeys, dogs, jackals, and worms. Such sinful persons are hellish fiends even from their very birth. They may not see the sun during the day and the moon during the night. They may not see them even during sleep. They may be freed by repeating the Vedic Rudra Sukta. Those who censure a person wearing Tripundra are fools. A mere talk with them may cause them to fall into hell. There is no way of saving them. O sage, Tantrika is not authorized for a Siva Yagna, nor a person having Urdhava Pundra. A person marked with heated wheel is excluded from Siva Yagna. There are many worlds to be attained as explained in Brajbala Upanishad. Taking into consideration, a man shall be devoted to the ashes. Just as the sandal paste alone can be applied over sandal paste, so also only the ash shall be applied over the sacred mark on the forehead. A sensible person will not apply anything over the forehead that wears the ornamental marks of ashes on it. The Tripundra shall be applied up to the forelocks by women. Brahmins and widows shall apply the ash also. Similarly, it shall be applied by persons of all Aramas. Thus it bestows salvation and destroys all sins. He who makes Tripundra duly with the ash is freed from the group of great as well as small sins. A brahmacharin, a householder, a forest dweller, or an ascetic, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras, the low and the base people become pure by the means of Tripundra and Udulana applied according to the prescribed manner and get their heaps of sins destroyed. A person regularly applying the ash is freed of the sins of slaughter of women and cow and that of heroes and horses. There is no doubt about it. By means of Tripundra, the following and similar other innumerable sorts are destroyed immediately: thefts of others' wealth, outrage of modesty of other men's wives, censuring others, usurping and forcibly occupying others' fields, harassing others, theft of plants, parks, incendiarism, acceptance of base people, of gifts of cow, gold, buffalo, gingerly seeds, blanket cloths, cooked rice, food grains, water, etc. Sexual intercourse with prostitutes, women of tribal castes, fisherwomen, slave women, actresses, widows, virgins, and women in their menstrual periods, selling of flesh, hides, gravy, etc., and salt, calumny, perjury, deceitful arguments, and utterance of falsehood. The theft of Shiva's property, censure of Shiva in the certain places, and censure of devotees of Shiva can be dispelled by the rites of expiation. Even a Chandala who wears Rudraksha over his body and Tripundra on his forehead is worthy of respect. He is the most excellent of all castes. He who wears the Tripundra on his forehead gains the same merit as one who takes part in the sacred river like Ganga and whatever other sacred pond and lakes and holy centers there are in the world. The 5-syllable mantra, which grants Shiva's Kevya, in par with 7 crores of greater and many crores of other mantras. Say, mantras of other deities bestowing all blessedness are easily accessible to the devotees who wears the Tripundra. He who wears the Tripundra raises 1,000 predecessors and 1,000 successors in his family. In this life he will enjoy all worldly pleasures and live long without any disease. At the end of the span of his life he will have a peaceful death. He will assume then a divine auspicious body endowed with 8 accomplishments. He will travel by a divine aerial chariot attended by celestial gods. He will enjoy the pleasures of Vidyadharas, powerful Gandharvas in the world of Indra, and guardians of the quarters, and those of Prajapatis, and finally reach Brahma's region, where he will sport with 100 virgins. He will enjoy different kinds of pleasures, therefore, for a full period of span of life of a Brahma. He will then enjoy the pleasures in Vishnu Loka till 100 Brahmas die. Thereafter he will attain Sivaloka and enjoy everlasting bliss there. Finally, he will attain Siva Sayujya. No suspicion need to be entertained in this matter. After going through the essence of all Upanishads again and again, this is what has been arrived at, that the Tripundra is conducive to great excellence. A Brahmin who censures the ash is no longer a Brahmin, but of another low caste. He will undergo the tortures of terrible hell for the period of span of life of a 4-faced Brahma. A man who wears a Tripundra while performing Shraddha, Yagna, Japa, Homa, Vyasadeva, and worship of deities is purified soul, and he conquers even after death. When impurities are evacuated, a bath with water shall be performed. A bath with ash is always purificatory. A bath with mantras removes sins, and if a bath with knowledge is taken, the greatest goal will be reached. A man who takes bath of ashes derives that benefit which all holy centers accord. He gets the merit thereof. Bath with the ash of holy center where Ganga Snana is possible every day. Shiva is represented by the ash which directly sanctifies the 3 worlds. Instructions with knowledge, meditation, gift, and japa, if these are performed by Brahmana without wearing Tripundrika. The followed forest dwellers, virgins, and men without initiation shall apply the ash pasted in water up to the midday, and thereafter without water. He who wears Tripundra like this regularly with pure controlled mind must be considered a true devotee of Shiva. He derives worldly pleasures and salvation. If a person does not wear the bead of Rudraksha, which accords many merits, if he is devoid of Tripundra as well, his life becomes futile. Thus, I have briefly told you the greatness of Tripundra. This is the secret to be safely guarded by you from all living beings. O leading sages, in different parts of the body, as forehead, etc., 3 lines constitute the Tripundra. The Tripundra on the forehead extends from the middle of the eyebrow to the tips of the brows on either side. With the middle and the ring finger, a line drawn in the opposite direction is called Tripundra. With the 3 middle fingers, take the ashes and apply the Tripundra on the forehead. It would give worldly pleasures and salvation. For each of these 3 lines, there are 9 deities everywhere in the body. I shall mention them to you. Listen attentively. The 9 deities of the first line are the syllable A, Grihapatya fire, earth, Dharma, the attribute Rajas, Rig Veda, Kriya Shakti, Prakasavan, and Mahadeva. O foremost among sages, this shall be carefully understood by those who are initiated in the cult of Shiva. The 9 deities of the second line are the syllable U, Dakshina fire, the principle of ether, attribute Sattva, Yajurveda, Madhyadina Savana, Ichha Shakti, Antaratman, and Maheshwara. O foremost among sages, this must be carefully understood by those who are initiated in the cult of Shiva. The 9 deities of the third line are the syllable M, Avahina, the supreme soul, the attribute Tamas, heaven, Jnana Shakti, Samaveda, third Savan, and Shiva. O foremost among sages, this must be carefully understood by those initiated in the cult of Shiva. Thus, making obeisance to the deities of the different parts with devotion, one shall apply Tripundra. One will become pure and derive worldly pleasures and salvation. Thus, I have mentioned, O lordly sages, the deities of the different parts of the body. Now please listen to the different parts connected with them. These lines are to be made either in 32 places or half of that in 16 places, or in 8 places or in 5 places. The 32 places are head, forehead, 2 ears, 2 eyes, 2 nose, mouth, neck, 2 arms, 2 elbows, 2 wrists, chest, 2 sides, navel, 2 testicles, 2 thighs, 2 knees, 2 calves, 2 heels, and 2 feet. The names of the following shall be uttered when Tripundra is applied: fire, water, earth, wind, the quarters, the guardians of the quarters, the 8 Vasus. The 8 Vasus are Dhara, Dhruva, Soma, Apa, Anil, Anal, Pratyusha, and Prabhasa. All the devotees shall apply Tripundra in 16 parts of the body. The 16 parts mentioned before are head, forehead, neck, 2 shoulders, 2 arms, 2 elbows, 2 wrists, chest, navel, 2 sides, and back. The names of the deities presiding over them and which are to be worshipped are 2 Asvins, Dasra, and Nasatya, Siva Shakti, Rudra, Isha, Narada, and the 9 Shaktis, Vama, etc. Or the 16 parts are head, hair, 2 eyes, the mouth, 2 arms, chest, navel, 2 thighs, knees, 2 feet, and the back. The deities are Shiva, Chandra, Rudra, Brahma, Vigneshwara, Vishnu, Shri in the heart, Shambhu, Prajapati in the navel, Naga, Nagkanyas, Rashi Kanyas in the feet, and the ocean of vast expansion in the back. Now for the 8 parts are mentioned: the private parts, the forehead, the excellent pair of ears, 2 shoulders, chest, and navel. These are the 8 parts of the body. The presiding deities are Brahma and the 7 sages. O lordly sages, this is what has been mentioned by those who know about the efficacy of ashes. All these 5 parts are to be used for applying ashes as mentioned by those who know more about the efficacy of ashes. They are forehead, 2 arms, chest, and navel. Considering the place and time, whatever is possible shall be done by the devotee. If incapable of dusting the whole body with the holy ashes, he shall have the Tripundra on the forehead alone, remembering Lord Shiva, the 3-eyed, the support of the 3 gunas, and the progenitor of the 3 devas, by repeating Namah Shivaya. He shall have Tripundra on the sides, saying Isabhyam Namah, and on the forearms by saying Bijabhyam Namah. He shall apply the ashes beneath by saying Nama Pitrabhyam, and above by saying Nama Umeshabhyam. On the back and the back of the head by saying Nama Bhimya. We come to the end of chapter 24. Shukrana Guruji. Now Deepika Aunty will be reading in Hindi. Jai Guruji to all the Sangat family. I feel very happy and highly blessed to have this wonderful favor of reading Shiv Puran today. Thanks to Guruji. Thanks to Seema Auntie and Mansi Auntie for giving me this wonderful opportunity. I'll be reading chapters 23 and 24 in Hindi. Guruji, please forgive me for any mispronunciations. अध्याय 23 और 24 शिव नाम जप तथा भस्म धारण की महिमा, त्रिपुंड्र के देवता और स्थान आदि का प्रतिपादन। ऋषि बोले, महाभाग व्यास शिष्य सूत जी, आपको नमस्कार है। अब आप उस परम उत्तम भस्म महात्म्य का ही वर्णन कीजिए। भस्म महात्म्य, रुद्राक्ष महात्म्य तथा उत्तम नाम महात्म्य, इन तीनों का परम प्रसन्नता पूर्वक प्रतिपादन कीजिए और हमारे हृदय को आनंद दीजिए। सूत जी ने कहा, महर्षियों, आपने बहुत उत्तम बात पूछी है। यह समस्त लोगों के लिए हितकारक विषय है। जो लोग भगवान शिव की उपासना करते हैं वे धन्य हैं, कृतार्थ हैं। उनका देह धारण सफल है तथा उनके समस्त कुल का उद्धार हो गया। जिनके मुख में भगवान शिव का नाम है, जो अपने मुख से सदा शिव और शिव इत्यादि नामों का उच्चारण करते रहते हैं, पाप उनका उसी तरह स्पर्श नहीं करते जैसे खदिर वृक्ष के अंगार को छूने का साहस कोई भी प्राणी नहीं कर सकते। हे श्री शिव, आपको नमस्कार है। श्री शिवाय नमस्तुभयम्। ऐसी बात जब मुंह से निकलती है तब वह मुख समस्त पापों का विनाश करने वाला पावन तीर्थ बन जाता है। जो मनुष्य प्रसन्नता पूर्वक उस मुख का दर्शन करता है, उसे निश्चय ही तीर्थ सेवन जनित फल प्राप्त होता है। ब्राह्मणों, शिव का नाम, विभूति, भस्म तथा रुद्राक्ष, ये तीनों त्रिवेणी के समान परम पुण्य में माने गए हैं। जहाँ ये तीनों शिवतर वस्तुएं सर्वदा रहती हैं, उसके दर्शन मात्र से मनुष्य त्रिवेणी स्नान का फल पा लेता है। भगवान शिव का नाम गंगा है, विभूति यमुना मानी गई है तथा रुद्राक्ष को सरस्वती कहा गया है। इन तीनों की संयुक्त त्रिवेणी समस्त पापों का नाश करने वाली है। श्रेष्ठ ब्राह्मणों, इन तीनों की महिमा को सत सदिलक्षण भगवान महेश्वर के बिना दूसरा कौन भली भांति जानता है। इस ब्रह्मांड में जो कुछ है वह सब तो केवल महेश्वर ही जानते हैं। विप्रगण, मैं अपनी श्रद्धा भक्ति के अनुसार संक्षेप से भगवान नामों की महिमा का कुछ वर्णन करता हूँ। तुम सब लोग प्रेम पूर्वक सुनो। यह नाम महात्म्य समस्त पापों को हर लेने वाला सर्वोत्तम साधन है। शिव इस नाम रूपी दावानल से महान पातक रूपी पर्वत अनायास ही भस्म हो जाता है। यह सत्य है, सत्य है, इसमें संशय नहीं है। शौनक, पाप मूलक जो नाना प्रकार के दुख हैं, वे एकमात्र शिव नाम, भगवान नाम से ही नष्ट होने वाले हैं। दूसरे साधनों से संपूर्ण यत्न करने पर भी पूर्णतया नष्ट नहीं होते हैं। जो मनुष्य इस भूतल पर सदा भगवान शिव के नामों के जप में ही लगा हुआ है, वह वेदों का ज्ञाता है, वह पुण्य आत्मा है, वह धन्यवाद का पात्र है तथा वह विद्वान माना गया है। मुने, जिसका शिव नाम जप में विश्वास है, उनके द्वारा आचरित नाना प्रकार के धर्म तत्काल फल देने के लिए उत्सुक हो जाते हैं। महर्षि, भगवान शिव के नाम से जितने पाप नष्ट होते हैं, उतने पाप मनुष्य इस भूतल पर कर नहीं सकते। जो शिव नाम रूपी नौका पर आरूढ़ हो संसार रूपी समुद्र को पार करते हैं, उनके जन्म मरण रूप संसार के मूलभूत वे सारे पाप निश्चय ही नष्ट हो जाते हैं। महामुने, संसार के मूलभूत पातक रूपी पातकों का शिव नाम रूपी कुठार से निश्चय ही नाश हो जाता है। जो पाप रूपी दावानल से पीड़ित हैं, उन्हें शिव नाम रूपी अमृत का पान करना चाहिए। पापों के दावानल से दग्ध होने वाले लोगों को उस शिव नाम अमृत के बिना शांति नहीं मिल सकती। जो शिव नाम रूपी सुधा की वृष्टि जनित धारा में गोते लगा रहे हैं, वे संसार रूपी दावानल के बीच में खड़े होने पर भी कदापि शोक के भागी नहीं होते। जिन महात्माओं के मन में शिव नाम के प्रति बड़ी भारी भक्ति है, ऐसे लोगों की सहसा और सर्वथा मुक्ति होती है। मुनीश्वर, जिसने अनेक जन्मों तक तपस्या की है, उसी की शिव नाम के प्रति भक्ति होती है, जो समस्त पापों का नाश करने वाली है। जिसके मन में भगवान शिव के नाम के प्रति कभी खंडित न होने वाली असाधारण भक्ति प्रकट हुई है, उसी के लिए मोक्ष सुलभ है। यह मेरा मत है। जो अनेक पाप करके भी भगवान शिव के नाम जप में आदर पूर्वक लग गया है, वह समस्त पापों से मुक्त हो ही जाता है, इसमें संशय नहीं है। जैसे वन में दावानल से दग्ध हुए वृक्ष भस्म हो जाते हैं, उसी प्रकार शिव नाम रूपी दावानल से दग्ध होकर उस समय तक के सारे पाप भस्म हो जाते हैं। शौनक, जिसके अंग नित्य भस्म लगाने से पवित्र हो गए हैं तथा जो शिव नाम जप का आदर करने लगा है, वह घोर संसार सागर को भी पार कर ही लेता है। संपूर्ण वेदों का अवलोकन करके पूर्ववर्ती महर्षियों ने यही निश्चित किया है कि भगवान शिव के नाम का जप संसार सागर को पार करने के लिए सर्वोत्तम उपाय है। मुनिवरों, अधिक कहने से क्या लाभ। मैं शिव नाम के सर्व पापहारी महात्म्य का एक ही श्लोक में वर्णन करता हूँ। भगवान शंकर के एक नाम में भी पाप हरण की जितनी शक्ति है, उतना पातक मनुष्य कभी कर ही नहीं सकता। मुने, पूर्व काल में महापापी राजा इंद्रद्युमन ने शिव नाम के प्रभाव से ही उत्तम सद्गति प्राप्त की थी। इसी तरह कोई ब्राह्मणी युवती भी जो बहुत पाप कर चुकी थी, शिव नाम के प्रभाव से ही उत्तम गति को प्राप्त हुई। द्विजवरों, इस प्रकार मैंने तुमसे भगवान नाम के उत्तम महात्म्य का वर्णन किया है। अब तुम भस्म का महात्म्य सुनो, जो समस्त पावन वस्तुओं को भी पावन करने वाला है। महर्षियों, भस्म संपूर्ण मंगलों को देने वाला तथा उत्तम है। उसके दो भेद बताए गए हैं, उन भेदों का मैं वर्णन करता हूँ, सावधान होकर सुनो। एक को महाभस्म जानना चाहिए और दूसरे को स्वल्प भस्म। महाभस्म के भी अनेक भेद हैं। वह 3 प्रकार का कहा गया है, श्रौत, स्मार्त और लौकिक। स्वल्प भस्म के भी बहुत से भेदों का वर्णन किया गया है। श्रौत और स्मार्त भस्म को केवल द्विजों के ही उपयोग में आने के योग्य कहा गया है। तीसरा जो लौकिक भस्म है, वह अन्य सब लोगों के भी उपयोग में आ सकता है। श्रेष्ठ महर्षियों ने यह बताया है कि द्विजों को वैदिक मंत्र के उच्चारण पूर्वक भस्म धारण करना चाहिए। दूसरे लोगों के लिए बिना मंत्र के ही केवल धारण करने का ही विधान है। जले हुए गोबर से प्रकट होने वाला भस्म आग्नेय कहलाता है। महामुने, वह भी त्रिपुंड का द्रव्य है, ऐसा कहा गया है। अग्निहोत्र से उत्पन्न हुए भस्म का भी मनीषी पुरुषों को संग्रह करना चाहिए। अन्य यज्ञ से प्रकट हुआ भस्म भी त्रिपुंड धारण के काम में आ सकता है। जाबालोपनिषद में आए हुए अग्नेय इत्यादि 7 मंत्रों द्वारा जल मिश्रित भस्म से धूलन, विभिन्न अंगों में मर्दन या लेपन करना चाहिए। महर्षि जाबाली ने सभी वर्णों और आश्रमों के लिए मंत्र से या बिना मंत्र के भी आदर पूर्वक भस्म से त्रिपुंड लगाने की आवश्यकता बताई है। समस्त अंगों में सजल भस्म को मलना अथवा विभिन्न अंगों में तिरछा त्रिपुंड लगाना, इन कार्यों को मोक्षार्थी पुरुष प्रमाद से भी ना छोड़ें, ऐसा श्रुति का आदेश है। भगवान शिव और विष्णु ने भी तिर्यक त्रिपुंड धारण किया है। अन्य देवियों सहित भगवती उमा और लक्ष्मी देवी ने भी वाणी द्वारा इसकी प्रशंसा की है। ब्राह्मणों, क्षत्रियों, वैश्यों, शूद्रों, वर्ण संकरों तथा जाति भ्रष्ट पुरुषों ने भी उद्धूलन एवं त्रिपुंड के रूप में भस्म धारण किया है। इसके पश्चात भस्म धारण तथा त्रिपुंड की महिमा एवं विधि बताकर सूत जी ने फिर कहा, महर्षियों, इस प्रकार मैंने संक्षेप से त्रिपुंड का महात्म्य बताया है। यह समस्त प्राणियों के लिए गोपनीय रहस्य है, अतः तुम्हें भी इसे गुप्त ही रखना चाहिए। मुनिवरों, ललाट आदि सभी निर्दिष्ट स्थानों में जो भस्म 3 तिरछी रेखाएं बनाई जाती हैं, उन्हीं को विद्वानों ने त्रिपुंड कहा है। भौं के मध्य भाग से लेकर जहां तक भौं का अंत है, उतना बड़ा त्रिपुंड ललाट में धारण करना चाहिए। मध्यमा और अनामिका उंगली से 2 रेखाएं करके बीच में अंगुष्ठ द्वारा प्रतिलोम भाव से की गई रेखा त्रिपुंड कहलाती है। अथवा बीच की 3 उंगलियों से भस्म लेकर यत्न पूर्वक भक्ति भाव से ललाट में त्रिपुंड धारण करें। त्रिपुंड अत्यंत उत्तम तथा भोग और मोक्ष को देने वाला है। त्रिपुंड की तीनों रेखाओं में से प्रत्येक के 9 देवता हैं, जो सभी अंगों में स्थित हैं। मैं उनका परिचय देता हूँ, सावधान होकर सुनो। मुनिवरों, प्रणव का प्रथम अक्षर अकार, गहारपत्य अग्नि, पृथ्वी, धड़, रजोगुण, ऋग्वेद, क्रिया शक्ति, प्रातः सवन तथा महादेव, ये त्रिपुंड की प्रथम रेखा के 9 देवता हैं। यह बात शिव दीक्षा परायण पुरुषों को अच्छी तरह समझ लेनी चाहिए। प्रणव का दूसरा अक्षर उकार, दक्षिण अग्नि, आकाश, सत्वगुण, यजुर्वेद, मध्य दिन सवन, इच्छा शक्ति, अंतरात्मा तथा महेश्वर, ये दूसरी रेखा के 9 देवता हैं। प्रणव का तीसरा अक्षर मकार, आहवनीय अग्नि, परमात्मा, तमोगुण, द्विलोक, ज्ञान शक्ति, सामवेद। तृतीय सवन तथा शिव ये तीसरी रेखा के 9 देवता हैं। इस प्रकार स्थान देवताओं को उत्तम भक्ति भाव से नित्य नमस्कार करके स्नान आदि से शुद्ध हुआ पुरुष यदि त्रिपुंड धारण करे तो भोग और मोक्ष को भी प्राप्त कर लेता है। मुनीश्वर, ये संपूर्ण अंगों में स्थान देवता बताए गए हैं। अब उनके संबंधी स्थान बताता हूँ, भक्ति पूर्वक सुनो। 32, 16, 8 अथवा 5 स्थानों में त्रिपुंड का न्यास करें। मस्तक, ललाट, दोनों कान, दोनों नेत्र, दोनों नासिका, मुख, कंठ, दोनों हाथों, दोनों कोहनी, दोनों कलाई, हृदय, दोनों पार्श्व भाग, नाभि, दोनों अंडकोश, दोनों उरु, दोनों गुल्फ, दोनों घुटने, दोनों पिंडली और दोनों पैर। ये 32 उत्तम स्थान हैं। इनमें क्रमशः अग्नि, जल, पृथ्वी, वायु, 10 दिक् प्रदेश, 10 दिक्पाल तथा 8 वसुओं का निवास है। धर, ध्रुव, सोम, आप, अनिल, अनल, प्रत्युष और प्रभास ये 8 वसु कहे गए हैं। इन सब का नाम मात्र लेकर इनके स्थानों में विद्वान पुरुष त्रिपुंड धारण करें, अथवा एकाग्र चित्र हो 16 स्थानों में ही त्रिपुंड धारण करें। मस्तक, ललाट, कंठ, दोनों कंधों, दोनों भुजाओं, दोनों कोहनियों तथा दोनों कलाइयों में, हृदय में, नाभि में, दोनों पसलियों में तथा पृष्ठ भाग में त्रिपुंड लगाकर वहां दोनों अश्विनी कुमारों का, शिव, शक्ति, रुद्र, ईश तथा नारद का और वामा आदि 9 शक्तियों का पूजन करें। ये सब मिलकर 16 देवता हैं। अश्विनी कुमार 2 कहे गए हैं, ना सत्य और दशत्र अथवा मस्तक, केश, दोनों कान, मुख, दोनों भुजा, हृदय, नाभि, दोनों उरु, दोनों जानु, दोनों पैर और पृष्ठ भाग। इस 16 स्थानों में 16 त्रिपुंड का न्यास करें। मस्तक में शिव, केश में चंद्रमा, दोनों कानों में रुद्र और ब्रह्मा, मुख में विघ्नराज गणेश, दोनों भुजाओं में विष्णु और लक्ष्मी, हृदय में शंभु, नाभि में प्रजापति, दोनों उरुओं में नाग और नाग कन्याएं, दोनों घुटनों में ऋषि कन्याएं, दोनों पैरों में समुद्र तथा विशाल पृष्ठ भाग में संपूर्ण तीर्थ देवता रूप से विराजमान है। इस प्रकार 16 स्थानों का परिचय दिया गया। अब 8 स्थान बताए जाते हैं। गुहा स्थान, ललाट, परम उत्तम कर्ण युगल, दोनों कंधे, हृदय और नाभि, ये 8 स्थान हैं। इनमें ब्रह्मा तथा सप्त ऋषि ये 8 देवता बताए गए हैं। मुनीश्वरों, भस्म के स्थान को जानने वाले विद्वानों ने इस तरह 8 स्थानों का परिचय दिया है। अथवा मस्तक, दोनों भुजाएं, हृदय और नाभि, इन 5 स्थानों को भस्म वेदा पुरुषों ने भस्म धारण के योग्य बताया है। यथा संभव देश, काल आदि की अपेक्षा रखते हुए उद्दूलन भस्म को भी अभिमंत्रित करना और जल में मिलाना आदि कार्य करें। यदि उद्दोलन में भी असमर्थ हो तो त्रिपुंड आदि लगाएं। त्रिनेत्रधारी, तीनों गुणों के आधार तथा तीनों देवताओं के जनक भगवान शिव का स्मरण करते हुए नमः शिवाय कहकर ललाट में त्रिपुंड लगाएं। ईशाभ्याम नमः ऐसा कहकर दोनों पार्श्व भागों में त्रिपुंड धारण करें। बीजाभ्याम नमः यह बोलकर दोनों कलाइयों में भस्म लगाएं। पितृभ्याम नमः कहकर नीचे के अंग में, उमेशाभ्याम नमः कहकर ऊपर के अंग में तथा भीमाय नमः कहकर पीठ में और सिर के पिछले भाग में त्रिपुंड लगाना चाहिए। अध्याय 23-24 समाप्त। जय गुरु जी। शुक्राना गुरु जी।